2020.
Here we
Greg
have the
Hankison
Israeli
fired 10
government
shots during that
committing
raid.
yet
He was
another
accused of
war
violating
crime
the civil
in
rights of tailors and others by using
Korean
unreasonable force.
school
But the jury
that
could
was
not reach a
used
verdict.
to
Roxana Saberi has more.
shelter people.
A
50
mistrial is not
innocent
an
people
acquittal,
died.
and so we live another day.
Amid Israel's ground offensive, there
The
are
family of
fresh
Breonna
airstrikes that
Taylor
have hit
says
a
they are not
United
giving
Nations-run
up hope,
school in
even after
northern
a
Gaza
federal
at a
jury
refugee camp.
deadlocked on a verdict
Hundreds of
Thursday
people are believed to be
against
taking
former
shelter
Louisville
there,
Metro
fleeing
Police
Israeli
detective Brett
attacks.
Hankison,
CBC's
who was
Ellen Morrow
facing
is in
2 civil
Jerusalem and
rights
is tracking
charges
that
in
part of the
Taylor's
story.
death.
Well, we
In
are
March
seeing these
2020,
reports,
he was one of
Natasha,
several
of a
Louisville
deadly
police
blast
officers who
in
raided Taylor's
Jabalia that's
apartment,
hit a
executing a
UN-run
flawed drug
school
search
turned
warrant.
shelter where,
They
as you
knocked on
said,
the door and
hundreds
tell you
of
it was.
people
We
are
can
believed to be sheltering. Now, there's still
Kenneth
a lot
Walker,
we
Taylor's
don't know at
boyfriend,
this
recalled
hour.
that night in
The
an interview with Gayle
Hamas-run
King.
Gaza
He
Health
said he was in
Ministry
the
says at
apartment
least
and fired
50
one shot at the
people
police,
were killed
striking and
in the
wounding one
blast.
officer.
We have
He
seen
used a
some
licensed
video
handgun.
emerging
I'm a
purporting to
1,000,000%
show
sure that
the
nobody
aftermath
identified
of the
himself.
blast,
The
and
police
it is
officers
incredibly
returned fire,
horrific.
killing
Dead
Taylor.
bodies lying amidst broken glass and damage from the building.
Prosecutors argued
And we have had a
It's not like
reaction.
any of these cops Where cared are about innocent actually killing a Palestinians person, supposed to go because most if cops even in the enjoy places killing people. designated
Officer
as
used
safe
unreasonable
zones
force, which
during
violated
war
the
are
constitutional
not even
rights of
safe
Taylor,
because
Walker,
the
and
Israeli
Taylor's
government
neighbors.
is still
Hankison
going to
testified he
attack
fired
it.
his weapon
Like,
only after he saw one of
the
his
Israeli
fellow
government
officers get
constantly
shot at.
says that
case
they give
fundamentally-
warnings
Well, yeah, you're gonna
to
get shot at
people
if
to
you
leave
break
an
into
area
somebody's
if they're
house
not connected to
unannounced.
Hamas, but then they
Especially
still
since
attack those
most
places
people in
where
the
they claim
States
it's going to be
are
safe for them.
licensed gun owners, and they have the right
from the
to
UN, from
themselves
UNRWA,
in
which is
their
the
house.
largest aid agency in Gaza that operates that school turned shelter. We can show you what we're hearing from the head of that agency. He wrote, receiving horrifying images and footage of scores of people killed and injured in another UNRWA school, sheltering thousands of displaced in the north of the Gaza Strip. These attacks cannot become commonplace. They must stop. A humanitarian ceasefire cannot wait any longer.
That a
And
cop
several
just fired
UN facilities have been
wildly
damaged throughout
into
this
a
war. That's
house
what he's
is
referring to in
like
this
an
tweet.
okay
Now, in
thing to
terms
do.
of exactly what
I mean,
happened, it's still
she
unclear
was
at this
accidentally
hour.
hit
We're
because the
waiting for more
cops
detail from the
were just
Israel Defense
shooting randomly
Forces. There
into
was a
whatever they
tweet that they
could
posted
or
that
see,
references
because these cops are
Jabalia, saying that
cowards.
forces were operating in the
His family
Jabalia
says
area,
prosecutors
that
have
there
already
was
told them
fighting
they
there,
intend
and
to
that they
retry Hankison.
eliminated
here,
Hamas
when that retrial
infrastructure.
takes
But again,
place.
in terms of
For
what's
CBS
happened
Mornings,
exactly with
Roxana
that blast, it is still unclear. Israel has
Are they trying to say that a UN raid shelter is Hamas structures? Because that is obviously not the case here.
hit Jabalia earlier in the war with airstrikes that Israel says took out Hamas infrastructure and fighters. But it was criticized for those strikes, the UN at the time saying they could amount to possible war crimes given the devastating effect that those strikes had on civilians.
Wait, possible war crimes? What is it that the Israeli government can commit war crimes, but everybody, like, well, it seems like that could actually do something about it, still just say they may be doing that, when it's obvious that that is what they are doing. They are committing war crimes. When you attack a UN shelter, you're committing war crimes.
Ellen, so much of the coverage today is focused on that school, on the refugee camp. But as you know, for days and days, we've been talking about the Al-Shifa hospital and the wider complex around it and the growing humanitarian crisis there. What can you tell us about that today?
Well, hundreds of people, patients and people who were sheltering at Al-Shifa Hospital have appeared to have evacuated the facility. We've seen some pictures emerging of them evacuating on foot, those who were able to, because remember, there are critically injured and sick people at that hospital. Now, it's a little unclear what exactly prompted this evacuation. This morning, doctors at Al-Shifa, as well as the Gaza Health Ministry run by Hamas, were putting out statements saying that Israel had given just 1 hour's notice for people to evacuate the hospital, causing panic at the hospital. Israel said something different. It denied giving an evacuation order and said that it was operating under a request from the hospital administration to help people get out. So conflicting narratives there. What we can say is that some people have left, moving to the south. Where they'll go once they get to the south is incredibly unclear. Shelters are overrun. There's overcrowded tent cities. As you said, Israel is asking people to move from some areas of the south. So it is very unclear where those people are going to go. And patients.
Yeah, the Israeli government keeps telling innocent Palestinians to keep moving, and then they just bomb the next place that they move to.
Still remain at the facility. A doctor there says about 100 patients remain critically ill who can't evacuate on foot, as well as those newborn babies who we've been speaking so much about. It's just obviously too unsafe to move those people without ambulances. They can't do it. So the dire humanitarian situation at that hospital remains for those patients. Just a few doctors left to treat them. Israeli troops remain at Al-Shifa, Natasha, looking for more evidence, they say, of Hamas operating at the facility.